Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 PM on the 21st. Today in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this anti-evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Nancy's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. But be sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Oh, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. Okay then. The third. Oh my god, why is my eyes again? God damn it. Prosecutor's office underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. The doll room. Empty. Covered by the tears. There was spring with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene. Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not at all. It's just we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. He works for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in the doldrum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that green for? This station calls for one thing, and that is luminal testing fluid. Luminal? I see stuff, you know. You can just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor, I can't even drink it. You're testing blood cells with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Oh. This for blood reactions, spray the luminol on it. Like this thing. Just enter the spray on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. Oh my god, this is the controls, okay. Okay. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain? It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Investigation in action. Okay, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's about this? Scientifically? Perpetrator and Detective Goodman. Both here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? Goddamn me and my yawning. Jesus Christ. Makes visual novel games really hard, especially when there's no voice acting. I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have been more blood than this. Hey Mr. Wright, I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a blood stain, okay? Hey, see, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that, so my... Well, that's what was received from one proud-looking Emma Sky. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. Seems like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star. Only trust your own eyes. Not bad. You too. This day old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of fleeting. Doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My boss is Mr. But. Oh no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry. You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Oh girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. This photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago, well, 2 years ago. I wonder how hardened the criminal when they face me. They coughed it up. Coughed it up, cup of queen. They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. Wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouth of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me the Cup-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunch. Wow. And you were let go, or fired. Go into the one today. It's all because of the case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Oh wait, wrong button. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? I remember that was 2 years ago. Back when you were at Cup-Up Queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But same idea as the man who killed. I was good at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. You've done this already. And we actually use the wrong way. Oops. Wouldn't make sense for there to be blood here though, but well, there is some there. I mean, I guess yeah, that makes sense actually. This blood must be from when Lana. No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? Time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? It has nothing to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. It just keeps getting worse. Surface spawn entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around so fast they are blurring. But it makes sense that he get killed here after all. Ah, God. The evidence room. The scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. It's like a kid at an amusement park. Oh man. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Prisoners room entrance guard station. What's with decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So behind the door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime. Sure, seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing, it's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of here. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. Leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was it called again? A punchy? A pounchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll give the information to myself for the time being. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think that one big one would be sufficient. It's cacti. are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell, with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Will it be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. Look on the floor, a lasso. Let's get set up to trap something. A trap here. Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. Okay. You should have an active imagination. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yeah, I hug myself. Oh wait. Okay. Oh, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective done at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. Don't mess up, or really could wind up dead. Not that anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. I know, the killer used dry ice. Only between the latch and the door, the room could be sealed shut. It's good. I'll link the writers over for sure. He's writing a report. He's writing a novel. The chief. What? He killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No, I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting into emotion. Oh my god. Okay. Is there something else still? A body with that Swiss knife stuck in it was found in a Swiss car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, that's what would have been the suspect. I wonder. Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Take a look at this. Did you want it? Okay, right. No, but thanks. Shouldn't you look at it? Okay. God damn it. Well, where should we? Oh well, isn't it obvious we're speaking with that, you know, that thing? Mystery of the victim, I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in two places simultaneously? Oh well, you see. We should go to the police department, the evidence room, was it? am I? No, you're being very helpful. For Mr. Edgeworth. I know you're going through a tough time what with all those rumors. You were given in, even in the defendant's justice passes Emba. There's a business with him not reading that officer's report. Ah, about the killing at the police department, right? The chief of police was right about that. But I can't help but think. Someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. We can't. Okay. God damn it. How do we? Something here maybe. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. Hope that's what he's doing. Guess we'll have to come back. Okay. Oh, one. This guy's questioning. These aren't dealing it. How do you kill me in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? She's supposed to answer that. Wait a second. Mr. Can't say that I arrested the suspect in the police department murder. Let's come back later. Okay. What? What do you think about this? This an incident. It's written on that knife. I know that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was different. Okay. Wait, it's an incident. It's more about this incident. Is there anything else relating to the line that we have? God damn it. Think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. We went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. 5 minutes weren't the problem, Mr. You lying was the problem. Listen, Luca, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. It's like that time. That time. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, solved quite so cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a shot, made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know as well. Wait, could it be? Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9. There's another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. No one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I'm here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on this line have disappeared, we find new evidence. There's to be a connection. So, rookie? What? Seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this trade. Mr. Marshall, is he or are you his? Are you going out? What do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. It would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. They are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please. Ah, wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Take the gumshoe. That's not time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I just heard the sound of his heart break. There's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal, now we just need evidence. The criminal, you mean? You heard about stepping in the police department evidence room, right, pal? It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything stops totally. What did he come show? Who was it? Simple. All I know is I need me a steak lunch. Pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. You want to know more? Head on down to the detention center, pal. First thing should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Where was I supposed to go again? Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down the road right now. Things will just get confusing. Jesus Christ. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrator again, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh. Hi. Greetings, sir. I don't know who you are. Officer Meekins. Sir, a guard here at the detention center. No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. We're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Oh my fucking god, dude. Ouch. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir. Oh, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir. And so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. No security officer. But another officer Marshall. Marshall. And sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. Suspicious person in the evidence room. Suspicious person, sir. Suspicious person. Yeah. What the heck is this guy doing? What happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. Hungry out days. Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could do to wrap it up, sir. Bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Guy. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, that's how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? Killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? So, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Ah yes, well that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light or other creature comfort. I don't know any detectives. But if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. There's someone around here who's more confused than I am. On the other hand, this happened during the course of the crime. Oh my god, this fucking noise. Ah, fuck. Well, you see, sir, I think you should just confess. But sir, Sir, but there's something I could do. Nothing you could do. Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened. The detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because the good man had disappeared. What? Oh god. And I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Ah. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Oh god. Tired as well, I guess. Ah. Mr. Meekins, this is for you. Hey, I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir. In my dream, sir. I thought you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacted the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Sorry, sir, really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. It's a snake launch. You should ask me to answer it, sir. It's in a bucket, sir. So it's the kind of man to pass the buck to its first. What am I doing? Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey. That's it, that's it. Oh my god, dude. Why? That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of it all. His ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. Better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman, a lost little lamp, if you know. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? The thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was flustered as flustered as you are right now. So I walked and leapt at him. Goodman pointed a knife at him. Ta! Don't do others before they do unto, not do unto. Don't fuck unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I woke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. If his body just disappeared from the evidence room, We don't know if anyone actually died. Sir, that's what I wanted to say. Please, I did say something along those lines. They still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. That day, at that time. Eric Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you wait until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge, I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Guess so. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the chief of detectives desk. It's Police Chief Kent. So this is all. Oh, God. You know what it means if there's anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked out all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh ho ho. Chief Kent, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edward going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. Given the incident on Court Lake. It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant seat, does it? And you? Someone else found guilty in that case, right? Righto? Karma. Legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. They called you fix it, so he was called up for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turn too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Everyone was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time, that's what it says. The evidence is this. Now, Brento, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. This in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. You know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut. Here's the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? Saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can find out. Kind of discreetly ask him. Can I present stuff to you? Can't see it still, doesn't mean. So bad. I guess I don't need to do anything. Maybe I'll just present everything to you. I don't know why I'm giving. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Given the benefit of the doubt, say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole policy department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. I'm gonna take out his batteries. Can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. What? But Patrolman is telling the other guy, he must be that detective. Answer me, how many fingers do you see? I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, that's 20 for the left, but nowhere near that for the right. Glasses, officer. That wasn't a salute, that was an eye test. Oh my god. Maybe I could Ah. Sure, you had to see that. What exactly did you folks wanted to do? Well, see over there. That's Goodman's desk. Well, you check it for anything that might be a clue. Took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. Nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here. Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? Not important, he didn't even finish writing it. Ah. The lost item report, but it's only half complete. The lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? Today it is February 21st. I better make a note of that just in case. Okay. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. This isn't the prosecuting, so where am I supposed to go? Over here. In that case, like what? Should I present this thing to you? Fuck. Or maybe I should I can't examine this further. You managed to write your own idea incorrectly. Oh. Something here. Where am I going? God damn it. Wait, what am I? What was I trying to do? I don't know. I pretended to do everyone here, right? So I need to get somewhere here, but where can I? There's something here I can examine that I didn't yet. Doesn't look like it. I can't go anywhere here. Yeah, I can come here, that's like, sure, whatever. Doesn't really help. I know. There is the cassette tape. The craft trick. The console was fake. It's good, no one will accept the cassette tape in this day and age. Okay, what the hell, dude? My mouth is watering. You can almost hear the sound of steak frying into grill. Oh, it's so cold and tough by now. I'm sure it's delicious. Mr. poured her heart into making this. As long as she didn't put any other organs in there. Oh my god. Let's see. Ingredients: meat. Chims indeed. She provides the generally. Generally. Fuck. Yeah, let's hope so. Of course, as a scientist I had to check what additives used. Go to town. It says here, hours of sweat and labor. That's why the sauce is so salty. God, okay. Oh, that's how. I see. Actually, I was wondering if I could just give a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Oh fuck. I guess not. Now Wright though. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Well, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Like, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate this room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It goes to show you never know until you ask. And for here, you can borrow this. Detective ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. Just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Okay. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we're going to the evidence room now, sir. It's a bad influence on the girl. Wait, how do I go there? Where do I go there from? What? From here, I guess. No? What? Where? Oh wait, yeah, here. This room must be at the door. I have the ID card from Chief Kent. Let's just walk in. It's open. Huh. The card reader is turned off. See. What is the security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina's skies so grey? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? Why does it have to be him to look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw. Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little dojies. Crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. We're busy then. I say that. When I said I didn't wish to speak with you, actually you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina. I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the white prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his 6-shooter, I say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. But in any case, we need to get working on this investigation pronto. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Quiet, the investigation must be over here. There's the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. It feels more like a morgue. True. Nice try, Mr. Wright. If you can't scare me. Eek. Oh. What? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around making ghosts on the bed, pal. Oh man. Is it true what I heard? Right though, please, do I look like a selfie? Oh wait. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police Kent. You loan anyone $50, even me. Oh, so that's what we were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today. Boss for a day. But guess what? Permission from the chief, so now you're a boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Units from floor plans, yes, okay. Then I think I'm sure you're boss for today. That's right. It's an honor. Troll, the murder took place right here in the police department. Like you're a boss, or are you all alone? Where are your underlings? Using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's final trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. Oh man. I'm adamant though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. Have a locker here too, Detective Gumshoe? Aha, of course. I'm a detective after all. Give me a locker that only I can open, pal. You can open. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. Yeah, that case. The Sunline incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. Sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get the shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Okay. That's the victim, David Goodman's ID card. He says everything with cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. It's only because you always lose your card. Let's read my secret number too. Scary, huh? My page should be ID enough. It's the world coming to. Like I'm sure rebel against the system. Oh man. My name is that's what cards are. Let's see if we have guy to do this. Fuck. Oh my god. Why didn't I realize this was thing? You can just scroll through the pages. Bruh. With the down and up arrows. Wow, okay. It's just, yeah. Let me just say one thing, speaking as a detective. I see a piece of evidence and I know nothing about it, I say anything. That's fine. It's fine, pal. Okay. Oh, wait, perhaps I'll do this instead. Wow, you wanted snake, but you don't want it after all, I guess. Okay, fine then. The Goodman's note. That switchable knife. That's what was the most surprise of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a mean man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Fuck. Let's suppose that Miss Star took. Anything you can tell us about it? Miss Star is quite the lady. Why, I remember it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened. 16, that's how old I am now. I wonder what happened. I wonder if they think she wore a trench coat in high school too. Fuck. Goodman's note. my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might even say. But also it's simple art. I think probably on the day of the ceremony, there were a lot of people coming to the ceremony. Took the blue bats away for a while. Really? Why? They said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful? But I toiled night and day. As we did, I'm sure. So I can see why they removed it. No, it was a bloody violent case. Violent? So it was a murder. Serial killing. A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. The killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edswell built his case around that to nab him. This was 2 years ago. That put Mr. Edswell right in the spotlight. Side to Marble. Of course, about false evidence. Supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer all the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Very good methodist. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident team. So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence of crime himself. Sheriff's back in the wild was senseless, motivated evidence. The only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither wild nor west here. Huh, but then these are two different things entirely. I guess so. I'm lost. Must mean some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Smell. Reminds you of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. This is from my baby. Yeah, we Star. What's this? What's wrong? A pile. Let's take lunch. I see. See, I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask Munch what's anything with Munch smack. Finally, it seems like it's doing the talk. Let's talk. Mr. Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins, the Dance Center, told us. That poor little doji. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. Told something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, I might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15? Well, a new place. Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. He was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's not many for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang up job of keeping an eye on the place. The security camera system. I don't take the machines much. I like the suit broccoli that's sneaking next to your steak, you know. His dad told us something. He said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It's always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Star, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Day of our case. That's right. Evidence transfers. That's what I was talking about, the transfers too. I don't know, maybe 2 of the machines in here do. What? Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower mistakes. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. When anything happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. Security card, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So it's the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sure, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? Haven't heard whether this is right, the case yet. It's right. I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen a number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is died. They're stepping! Ah. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They are kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it goes forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. That happened to someone 2 days ago. See this? It's the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. Number on this is 5842189. Mr. Marshall, show us the ID card record again. Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what did Officer Meekins say? So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife. It is ID card 10. How would he have pointed that knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, Compatre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. An idea. Maybe I should show this to other people with IDs here. To take a look at this. It's the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Oh, I heard the rumors. That was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. Something or I don't know. ID number. Is it Detective Conchu? So Edsworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edsworth. What? What? You can't figure it out by info. Why would Edsworth have come to the evidence room? Oh. 440. Wrong button. Can I proceed to you again now? Mr. Means, could you take a look at this? Oh. Maybe I'll show this to you. Never mind. I don't know. Where am I going? What the hell, dude? Admit. Big brain. Do I still need to show it to someone or? What have I left? Brain is small. Oh wait, I'm dumb, actually. I didn't even do any examining here. Oh my god. Fuck. Small brain. Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. Looks like a car door. A pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they called was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Yeah, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. Screenshot square me the forehead. Better him than us. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shot. I guess it must be evidence for some case. Ref the gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Like that gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under a trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Oh well. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. Don't open. Did you really think it would? Hey pal, our security is high tech around here. Some of the bulky equipment is gathering it just here. What a sorry looking fishing pole that is. Ah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right pal, that's that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Alright. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a box sweeper. Sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. And cheap looking box. You just a person on a machine by the cover. You gotta look at their heart. What's this? Blood. It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint there. Handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright. What if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. The locker is covered with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Hey, Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we close it. It's empty. They must have taken it elsewhere. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Yet the gumshoe, perhaps. Here you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of fool again. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident. Pal, see the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL1 evidence. SL9 evidence. Do I just keep saying SL1? By accident? Oh my god. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. I'm going to try to put it back together. Ha, good luck pal. It's not so for amateurs. Why, I spent good 3 hours on it before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Oh goodness. Wait, do I actually have to do something? wait, whoops. This is on top. Wait, whoops. Never mind, whoops. Wait, I'm done. I think we did it, but some pieces are missing. I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Some pieces stolen. I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I don't understand how it got broken. There's a club here, but only one. Here comes shoe, maybe. There you go. I'm not able to face I'm absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. Someone I need to have a take on it. Couple of I did okay. There's a saw and paint to here. It's the dawn of time. Art has always been a war against oppression. Through art, I notice that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we are witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here in the evidence room. Oh man. Wait, hold on. Oh man. Oh, this got what? Why did this get? Dude, what the? My bad, I guess. Oh, I needed to make it. Yeah, okay, my bad. I knew it. This is someone's right hand. What? Some other detective. This locker. It's mine. It's yours. Please. You have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. Do that for me, won't you, pals? It's an important clue. I'll jot it down on floor plans. Gunning on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like that. That's not a professional. What's your opinion? Oh, I'm not a what's your opinion, detective? Help Blue Bug. Maybe Detective Goodman. Like seeing an alien? Something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Hey look, they're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think that Goodman's blood somehow got on this face when he was stabbed? Not likely. His blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This surface was evidence in the saline incident. It might be when the blood got on it. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom? That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? True enough, I suppose. Okay. Oops. I'm looking at the like thing at the same time, but like. Oh, there we are. I guess I literally just missed that exact spot when I was spraying everything. Wow. Am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to dodge this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What this? Subliminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'll get some too. I'll borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where'd you get this, Emma? I was spied by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plan. Hey pal, look at the time. There's something you need to be going to. Just that Mr. Edgeworth Inquiry Committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. Might help, you know. Report? Give me the note written on the back of the flyer. One that says nothing but no problems. Mr. Edgeworth will think about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. Believe in him. It's enemies when you've got friends like that, you gumshoe. I'm off pal later. Okay. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Well then. Oh god. Why is it this difficult to go to there? What? Oh, guess my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Edgeworth here. There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. Yes, the whole will bring him tea service. Mr. Edgeworth, we're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry. I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? It was helpful. Apparently a new French restaurant is opening here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. How did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again. I heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for a trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. Police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police, Kent. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Hey, that's the case. Mr. Wright, thought that you know in a very polite manner. What's that you're wrong anyway? My best is like get some reaction out of him. What is my best? Oh yeah, this one. Oh right. I'd better take this now. I was saying is this a record of ID card usage? That's what. You went in the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go, but Chief can't, no less. Chief of Police? I wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. AI-60. Told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. Well, it was all right. It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. God. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Maybe that's it, I don't know. I know you. You probably got hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with the case you were on. There's a night incident. God. Some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Just be talking about his father's murder in the elevator. Okay, that's what. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Can I press the buttons? Oh my god. Wrong one. The Sanai incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Oh, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth. What I want to know is why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science... Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this male testing fluid. Well done. You might have use for this aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me, are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. That's what. I'm really... You don't need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving this to Death Gumshoe as well? Fingerprints. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here is blood on the detective's evidence locker. It's a secret weapon which is borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. This finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. Well, wouldn't it be the thumb? Or maybe the point. I already can't tell the difference at the glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay. Oh, did I even choose? No, it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. How do you do that? And see? Looks like that did the trick. Aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, let's blow away the excess. How do I do that? Pretty exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the handles on a birthday cake. Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, alright? Guess I better give it a try. Well, what the heck? Let's just build the entire screen. Might as well. Totally worth it, right? Okay. You did it, you found one. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mentioned it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we are out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Oh. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes on the scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. I don't need to do it this much, but okay. Noise. Wait, we already got it though. Hello? Hello? What? Okay. It's so clear, it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. Sure, done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint. And not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess he's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? like a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. Those fingerprints would be most likely found on this evidence locker. Match found, yes. Aha! So these prints belong to the gumshoe. Only wrong, is that right? Gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Oh, my bitrate? No! Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Hit or miss? You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. That's for sympathy. Wait. If I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Check it out. Oh, what? How do I use this? I'm not supposed to use this first. I'm confused. Oh, right, there was a handprint here. Okay. Try using this. There you go. Her eyes sparkle again. Leave it be, haha. Let's check her. That's the sprint. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped over, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. That means no prints. Do you say the probability of her hability is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that were wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Guess there's something there. There we go. Makes sense, but that's fine. No. Jake Marshall. Fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. Those fingerprints added to the court record. That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma? It's decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints. and a wiped bloodstain. But why would Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. This is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued. For the 1 AM, just recall it. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. A different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Anna. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I didn't hold you too long for questioning. It's finished actually. I missed all letters though. So how did it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much of my regrets, much in the dark about this as they are. Sky. Found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. Kind of trace evidence? Blood and fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. (24 10 AM) Visit Court. Number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was seen at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Sven's car. Well, this one messed up trail. My duty as prosecutor is to prevent impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police street department. So doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Well, that's what we said. Mr. is with the party. He's not on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. The day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Ellsworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. Would the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, third would-be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Why? You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edward, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meek. Yes, sir. Give us a report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I'm assigned to guard the evidence from that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that I passed out, and then other officers smacked me awake. So the victim didn't think Goodman attacked you. If you want, that's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I need here is more info to work with. Press. Mr. Wiggins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Thanks. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant that many officers were given special tasks, not ordinary, that are performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I was sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badge to the evidence room. Oh, so that's where you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is, I found it. It's the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir, it's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see, huh? But the number 4989596 shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger at the evidence room. The second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see, so it was during that second time when... Yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Did the good man pull a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person I want to run into. That's when I reacted to him. I swung on my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe you just kept your cool and your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. He took his knife. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see, he must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then, the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. Me right in the head too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Mission? Yes, sir. To Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. But one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? That's the point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief can't deliver it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? Why is that? Videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. It's quite a mistake. I asked you what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. Video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Of course, the moment that... yeah. Of course, that moment is not shown. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with this unsettling feeling stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? That is a brand of the entire criminal affairs, sir. It's a Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't coming smooth? Oh man. Yes, well, anyway. Tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. The evidence room and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on the clearly incomplete footage, the witness' testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him, no one else could have unlocked it. What's this about the fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may be in its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have this thought. I'll just press everything until I think I see something, I don't know. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? For the point, you are the person who followed him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at the face. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see? Yeah, that's a good choice for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I put my badge on it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen. This face can be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? Find the label your stairs disturbing or... Mickens. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. And please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed the man who burned his knife on you was Bruce Goodman. That's why you're positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of method she's right. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Tell him my point, sir. It is too. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. The victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. It must be him, no one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir, it's you, after all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. It was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The police doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. That's right. Let's check the court record again. There's a problem with the security video. Tape was provided by the policeman, so there's no problem with it. Really trust in the policeman, Mr. Wright. But if you ask me, I think there's a problem with what's shown on the tape. Rather than with the actual tape itself. It all sounds true enough. The victim's body was found at the prosecutor's office. There has to be a mistake somewhere. god. Ah. The real thing is so much more intense than in the movies. Here you can use the player to watch. It has massive like security video. Maybe I should take another look at the footage. I wish I could fast forward this. I'm actually even supposed to look at this again. Or not. Wait, hold on. Never mind. The light was on. The light was on. Regarding the video content on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been the good man. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Sweat? I propose we have the defense point out to us this as thank you for the follow, Karen, which I appreciate. This alleged contradiction in the video. You want me to point out. It's easy enough to point out anyways. Well, proposals are accepted. Let's further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. What's my favorite wood? I honestly don't have one. I like a lot of things, to be fair. I can't really choose one. But like stuff with like pasta and stuff is really good. Alright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I see. Point out the problem in the video. Yes, you do, Phoenix, it's easy. First time I ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Well, that's easy now. Okay. Let's take a good look and piece for to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching the video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be the good? The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Why is this music on? Oh my god. Works like this. Did I bug out the game and now I'm gonna have to listen to this soundtrack the entire time? When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. So, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. just tell me it's gonna go away after this. We can reach this for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already opened before the victim grabbed the handle. Order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why hasn't the locker locked? Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, isn't exactly my field. Do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Maybe something like jump the system sensor. Something jump the sensor. Say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. What? Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. The thing that's strange about this video have to be this. I need to use my eye drops. I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those blurry eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. So look, myself, please point out the cause for this. But I don't know what the cause is. God. I thought it would be Blue Badger, but then again, why isn't that locker open? Oh wait. Oh wait. Please watch closely. It's the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. And now there's no audio whatsoever. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. Often fall out and roll great distance. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. Do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing my time. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Like that, it would also have to block electrical currents. There would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the door from locker door? Oh, well, I guess I should do... Oops, not check. I meant to present it, not check it. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. We can't be sure that it was in the victim's locker. There's a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stepped in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Don't be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Esfeld? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. But, Mr. Meekins, please testify about this. Sir. Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves that man was the Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does not strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transfer here, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Let's move on to cross-examination. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. You just use your right hand for that. Let's hear him out. You've seen one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cup, sir. I keep it here so I will never forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing my ID card. Maybe I should just leave this option alone. Anyway, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with this. Let me know that this is the record the witness referred to. You see? Yes, that would be David Goodman. According to this, Miss Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is your honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he would hide the evidence. You shouldn't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let's continue with the cross-examination. For Mr. Edgeworth, must be too difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Things stems from contradictions, so let's point them out. So right, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what they got. Let's try to be big brain for a moment. Oh yeah. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. Makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this is something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 PM on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not the Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes, it's up to. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? A moment ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. It's going to end well. It seems you finally realized. Tell you what you've gone to such sense to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Ellsworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. Police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Fuck. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Wiggins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Ellsworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Is that right? Do you mean? Your Honor. Defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify? What's his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Again, that's not know everything just yet. In charge of the evidence room, I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is up. Oh, wait. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? We called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma? No, it's not happening. Why don't you just tell us? It's right to start his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can he be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting or anything, pal. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Okay. Wait, David Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. So wait off you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Pretty Good Sky. It's okay, so, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Should I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. God, what crazy. S9 incident? Lena, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor. Oops. We're a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name is in here? There? I don't know. Unless... It couldn't be. Lana. It's a 9, isn't it? Is it? It's a classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dog killings. The Joe Dog. No, Lana. It's over with. No. Come on, wait, she ran away. You know what? Let's remember, I gotta be somewhere. Triple, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Stark, Damon Kent, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. Well, Jesus. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Oh man. Oh man. This card could remember now. Okay. The court now will now reconvene for a trial of Miss Sky. He didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. Officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man. Same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersection when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. The day the crime took place. Is this correct? Under the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperado souls, as boneless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. Plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Wait, they said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. This is an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo it's time I hit the trail. Let's say I particularly care for your attitude. I can say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras on the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Activated locks? What kind of newfangled dookies are those? It's not being very helpful. You know that could be machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't seem like trouble. Mr. Wright, it's all yours. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the secret camera monitor. That room's so still. Even the time dice in there. I was just the caretaker who interred the recordings. Interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If something unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? Told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. For the spirit of I know that rules get in his way. For the spirit I know join the police force. So Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There's a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sure, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been to the crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, I'll just press everything, but I know what I'm gonna predict already, I think. Used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry partner, I ain't good with machines. I cannot even tell you how a bike works. It's quite incredible. Sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives aren't aware of their presence. Nothing mentions it. Mentions that the gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell what you were doing when the crime took place? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's Mongol sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us? Depending on your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all the Spurs are tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this had at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. Hey person, what's up? And yeah, this game is cool. That's strange. It's usually words what says. Do you not want a race this year? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently our superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. If I use it though, I'll better up the end. Was that not it? What? Guess not. Guess not. I'll just look through this real quick, I guess. I thought this would be for this, but... Okay, I was supposed to read on that one then. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Mr. Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you've been called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the secret room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left... God. A very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. This isn't real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of the crypt. Pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish you were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. Blood was wiped away. However, the luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about their fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer pushed the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. I didn't know the murderer was wearing gloves. You see, I had nothing to do with it. His explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Was it ever discussed that that one was wearing gloves? Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. That's what it has to prove it. God. More saves coming, because saves coming is fun. That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even ever knowing it. So then, what about the bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue that just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. That's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. Can't see what homonyms have to do with this. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain on the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on the Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, the fingerprints were detected under the report, on that handprint. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. It's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Picture. A seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The cigarette tape. So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. That's right. Isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Let me continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Hehe. What do you mean by that? You want to tell me that this crime isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless, it's full of blind spots. Blind spots. Places you can't see. The camera spanning back and forth, the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for speculation, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates... Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. I don't think there's actually evidence, is there? Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another... Oh my god. I have no idea. Ask. With what mask? Why am I even not fast forwarding? I'm running on the wall behind the dude. You mean this thing here? I mean, I don't think this has anything to do with anything, but it's right, I guess. There has. Okay. No worries, no worries. Don't worry about it. Guess that's not it then. Because that would make sense to me. Like, why would his set of fingerprints? Okay, so the thing is, like, we got Marshall's fingerprints from near this because they were like, we got them from here where there wasn't any blood to begin with. So this blood could have been from him, and then like there was the other set of blood, but that was with the gloves. Then again, why would there be? I don't fucking know. Whatever. I don't know. Brain. What? Oh. Okay. Yes, I just checked up on the guide, but oh well. Oh wait, hold on. Up. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. I should just like... Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake, I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Do sum up what you had to say in 8 words or less. Very well. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in certain lockers shown in the video. Like, why didn't I just... Why is my brain small? The locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Could you rewind it faster, please? My god. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Yeah, 300 IQ. Not from me though, but yeah. You were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. It would seem that's the only. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? Doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. But it is. But it does. Commander needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. This is my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Now, I hate to rain on your parade. You're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call it a bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, I'm sure did mention something about this. In case the locks aren't that obvious, there are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say, in 8 words or less? No. Check. Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I'm sure this is not a joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. I see now, a full fighter. Oh, that's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at this. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? Seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. It's only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Officer Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. Someone just Meekins right. Fuck, man. The fact that this... Okay, I can save here. I can save here. Good. Now they're ganging up on me. Perhaps think a little more about where Officer Marshall was. Should have seen it. Okay. I don't know. here. Oh wait, oh my god, I'm done. Standing right here. Fuck off. Hit the kill. Wait, what? Hold on. Never mind. Okay, I see. Ah. That's an odd spot, but okay. First with 2 lockers, I mean maybe. But I thought there was something else there. Where the... okay, hold on. What? Oh wait, hold on. Was I thinking about this in the incorrect way? Fuck. Okay. There, but that's... so the victim, Detective Goodman, was... yeah, like, I was thinking of it as the incorrect way there, so... yeah. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out though that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show us. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. The man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. Answer is simple, he couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. He showed that his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We have a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's not denying it. We're gonna have to do better than that to break your detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Say I care for your bear, but you're not typical like promise, right? Do you have any evidence proving beyond the shadow of a doubt? That something is something. Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim. Well, I'm kidding, I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. It seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you're how can I speak? When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Hey, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? To me, there's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jack Marshall dressed up as a Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. And after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that the white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is to give all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at it. After committing the crime, is the white glove. How many saves am I gonna make? Too many. Doesn't matter though. This shows why the witness had to open his locker. Would this be enough? Right, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker? Why? So I could stuff you into. So the world would be a better place if you sent off to the funny boneyard. Boneyard. Because the unsolved case can be stored in the evidence room. Unsolved case. Wow. Something went wrong with the evidence room. But that was the... Wasn't that other... The thing that fell out of the other locker was already in that other locker, I think. Unless... Marshall dressed up as a good man at the time of the crime, then after the crime was committed. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to be Yep. Please be okay, good. But what do you have to say to that? Alright, partner. Really well. Oh my god, fuck. Wait, hold on. Where are we at, even? God damn it. Hold on. But I'm looking at the guide at the same, like, as well. But I still don't know what the fuck. Like, I'm looking at it if I get into a spot where I can't figure it out. What was the last things that we did? We chose that over, yeah, we chose the fire. Did that... Oh wait, that's Transformer. We're in trial letter, I'm done. Okay, that makes sense. Oh fuck, why am I dumb? And don't think. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know yet to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pull a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Bloody white coat. Who couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Miss Edgeworth. 2 years ago, you were only half as persistent as you are today. We all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Mr. Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Oh fuck. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I was expecting Officer Meekins and I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Mr. Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It's way too much blood for such a small donation. Okay. When you say it, you mean... Do we even have to ask partner? It's a 9 incident. 2 years have passed since that gate was closed. I was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident is not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of the investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... Why did you disguise yourself as a Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out evidence for sure, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. The detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started Filling out the lost item report, I returned his ID card. Left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, I managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean, the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that whole time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I have to think a little more about his race this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. They knocked Officer Meekins out and... So you did your research beforehand. Those who got into the desert unprepared, go in, don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room, when I came out, the trick would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a boy, baby. What you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Oh wait, what? But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing the armor. Lady Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. So remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? It's in a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. But out of anything it takes to get an answer, I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Look at this one. That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dog was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. Remember the Joe Dog case? It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down at the trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. guess that... yeah. First of all, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about this online incident. Sounds like you've been sleeping too much access to this partner. I have the SLI incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Nell Marshall, are you related to this man? Nell Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of the name. Fuck. 2 years ago. You received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? Prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. But didn't Von Karma win it like every year until now? Pretty much. So how, like what? I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled this online case before I did. Hold on. Oh, it was just once, I guess. I don't know. He handled the S9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Tim Gant, the 10th Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Doc. My brother fought Doc and was killed. That was the first time Doc left behind any evidence. It was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Doc. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. It's a reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the S9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, it means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lance Guy. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me these boys got the draw on me, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Objection! I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Next to you, I didn't need to waste my time, just proving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize it would end up proving the man guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict is arrived. This court finds the defendant. Oh, Your Honor, wait. Emma. Defense is an objection, a scientific objection. Right. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor. Oh, innocence. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Answer, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. In a minute, I'll give you 3. Oh. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out this line isn't referred to the Joe dog killings. Now that you mentioned it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew that fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. Left only one thing. That her handprint. Give me the trace of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. And no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. It's alright. The traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright. You're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me. Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark, then I will be. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. Oh man. What's wrong with it? Gumshoe's locker. Oh man. Could there be something I'm missing? Is handprint left at the crime scene? Wait. I mean... Wait, is that how it... Wait. Oh, I guess, yeah. Handprint left at the crime scene. Clearly shows a contradiction. Insured who lives... The only thing that seems clear is you are grasping, Mr. Wright. Been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. The actions was hand. Wait, what? I'm not sure. That spray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. All this evidence here. There's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing on the floor plans? Another piece of plywood. Yes, yeah. Blue Watcher, masked of police force. Defender, truth guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. Blue Batcher is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Right. As long as the blue battery is dancing here, there, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. Oh my god, that... When did you get back there? What? Wait, did he... I'm tired, I guess. I'm missing stuff. So that means, what does that mean? It means that it can't be done. And the mark is the strongest in stationary. I mean, yeah, it is the right hand, but yeah, but like, yeah, I guess, yeah, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I was saying, blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. This is right, think it through scientifically. Emma, that afternoon, Mr. Meekins was the one who brought the blue batcher to the evidence room, right? So we put it down. It would be impossible to leave the handprint on the locker. That must mean this blood mark was left here before the blue batcher was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it is the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. I'm the same. The Goodman when he was really murdered. It's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Hi Sensi, what's up? The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that murder of Officer Meekins being cut by a Czech marshal was posing as Detective Goodman. Another incident took place in the evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Esford said, proof must be presented. First shows when the murder took place, so one piece of evidence that can show it. Now then, Will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Well, it would be this one. The crime took place inside the evidence room, and the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here. 4:50 PM. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 PM. Miles Esford, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act with this. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. No, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. Here from the luminal test. Blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. It means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Is it though? That would mean the crime must have taken place before Miss Threads were at the end of the evidence room. And there's a 777. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7 sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7 sevens. So that's what. Please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777. Yes. It's 17 too many or more. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of the ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. ID number 77 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? Your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not to you, to her. The defense is you over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7 sevens. Don't blame me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident. It's a non-incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In the trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edsworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. At the time occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana, I became prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Pendant, just what are you saying? Ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During the trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Investigator, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. Shit. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, 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 order! As remarks says that the chairs in the courtroom could not be expelled, but the conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. How surprising! Oh man. It's 1 PM. You're always sorry. Okay. That's it. Oh my. Oh wait. Things there.